Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Well, that's another one that maybe we'll get, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
Do you lean one way or the other with those two guys?
I really think it's a closer fight than what people think it is, because look, they both have knockout power. They both have game-changing power. You know, the only I see pluses and negatives on both sides. You know, not going to go into detail, but they both can exploit each other, I feel like.
Who has more pluses? Who has more negatives? Or it just kind of evens
hard.
out?
It doesn't even matter the amount. It's how big that, you know, how big a certain one is, how big one is going to play in the factor. You know, it doesn't matter how many you have. You can have 10, but one is this big.
Right.
You know?
And then that's the one that means something, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, Vergil.
In and around your division, two names stick out in particular: Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Ryan Garcia. Tell me what you think if those two were to get together. How would that fight go?
It's, you know, a great fight. You know, Ryan Garcia is a great fighter. He's fast, he's strong. And, you know, Gervonta Davis, he's strong too. He's a really great fighter. But I think if they fight each other, I think Gervonta Davis could knock him out. I think, you know, he's really strong. And Ryan Garcia, he gets hit with those big hooks. So I think those guys are going to end up falling.
If we get it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Who has the speed advantage, and how much of a factor is that going to play in the fight?
I'm going to just say it like this. I left the Fortuna fight intrigued. Ryan, I believe, is a pretty basic boxer, and I won't say everything that he does or does not do, because I feel like I would be exposing what he has or what he doesn't have. But I think he's kind of he's got one tempo and one way of operating. But this power that he has and this power that he believes in, I'm starting to believe in it. I'm intrigued. Like, is it as real as you're saying it is, or is it these guys that you're in the ring with? I don't know. I just don't know. And so when he touched Fortuna a couple of times and Fortuna stopped moving, I mean, that's an indication that you've done something to make somebody uncomfortable and get them out of what they do well and what they wanted to do, you know. And then the way he knocked out Fortuna, I was just like, is this real? Because I'm saying that because if it is real, I give him a legitimate chance against Tank Davis. Tank is my number one at 135. I find it hard to see anybody beating Tank, but at the same time, I do think that there's some very, very competitive fights out there, and I do think that there's some fights that he could lose if he doesn't operate the way that he can. But with Tank and Ryan specifically, and I'm not saying Ryan only has power, but I'm just very intrigued by that hook, about the timing. And the velocity. I mean, all those scientific words. You got to put all those scientific words on that hook. Something about it. So, and I think that we could see him thinking the other night when he fought Fortuna, which is a really good sign that you're starting to, you know, develop more. So, I think that if that fight gets made, while I would definitely pick Tank, I would actually be watching the fight like this, like just waiting to see what Ryan can do, you know. So that's it.
Man, it's gonna be, that was a beautiful kind of a little appetizer for it, because it's you're right, it is one of the question marks, right? Is if that right hook landed on Fortuna, like you said, Fortuna was like, wait, what happened? Yeah. And next thing you know, he's on his knees. You know what I mean?
And he was thinking at that point. I was watching the fight. Shout out to Barack. We were watching the fight, and I leaned in to tell Barack something, and Ryan made an adjustment and started throwing a wide right hand opposed to just a straight right hand, and landed it and clocked Fortuna. So I mean, again, you can see that he's thinking, and that he's a little bit more comfortable in there, which are good signs if you want to take on somebody like Tank Davis.
Definitely. Last one, man. Tank versus Ryan. I know you left Golden Boy, but you and Ryan are still cool. I mean, who knows? That's another one, right? Like, who knows what happens? But, I mean, how do you think that speed matchup between those two guys plays out?
You know what? The great thing about that matchup is I think whoever gets caught with a good shot can get hurt, because they both hit hard. And I think they both have to just come in there with the right game plan. You know, I think it's going to be in the beginning rounds, maybe like the first 3 rounds, it's going to be kind of like a chess match, a little patient, you're not really going to see much. And then then somebody's gonna have to pick it up and take a risk to catch the other with a big shot. So you know me, I'm Ryan's my guy, so I got Ryan for that. Yeah.
Keyshawn, I just remembered you sparred Tank as well, right?
Yeah.
When you sparred Tank, what did you learn about yourself when that happened?
I learned that I can hang in there with the elite level. I feel like I can take a punch because he caught me with, well, I remember he caught me with 2 good shots. He caught me with 1 good hook, and he caught me 1 good straight. And knowing Tank, like, you don't know really to expect when you get caught with a good shot. So he told me I could really take a punch. He told me I could box with the best and shit. I feel like Tank, he tested me. He tested my skill in a way where I always had to like stay sharp, watch out for his power, and just be real defensive. Because I'm not really a defensive fighter. Even though I got great defense, I love fighting like Tank does. So he had me fighting a style that I don't usually fight, and I feel like I got better at it. And I capitalized it. And I learned a lot from sparring Tank, man. Shouts out to Tank.
Versus Ryan, a lot of people are talking about it. I believe I heard you in an interview say before, skills pay the bills.
Yep.
That right hook from Ryan is very fast, comes very hard. Shawn Porter and I were talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that maybe this is the best time for Ryan to take that step with Tank, or do you think maybe Ryan needs a little bit more fights, or maybe just it is what it is and Tank just will have his number in your opinion?
Honestly, what I think Ryan doing right now is just promoting the fight. I don't really necessarily. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya say they in conversations, but I don't really believe Oscar De La Hoya. Me looking outside in, I think Ryan is just promoting the fight, trying to get the talks back going again. Because it used to be that, and then Ryan fell off for a little bit. It got quiet. Now he's trying to bring this shit back. So right now he's just promoting the fight. But if we just talk about them actually fighting, I don't see them fighting this year.
Really? Not this year?
Probably next year. If they fight this year, they're going to surprise me. But I don't see them fighting this year. You got the Errol Spence and the Terrence Crawford fight that niggas waiting for. If I was there, I probably would carry that fight to next year. Because you got, or I don't know. But I don't see that shit.
As greedy fans, boxing, we could get greedy, no? We could get both of them, maybe?
I mean, yeah, you could, but how I would think about it, I'm not in the position, so I'm just talking, right? So how I would think about it, I would want all the attention on me. So if it's Floyd Mayweather fighting the end of the year, I'm gonna let Floyd Mayweather have that shine. I'm gonna show up in January because everybody gonna be like, oh, it's another big fight. Let's tune in. Rather than I'm pulling for Floyd, he pulling for me. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I think about it, but shit.
Yeah. Tank and Ryan are in December. They're talking about being in December. How do you feel about the fact that their talks intensified almost kind of after you collected all the hardware,
Yeah, I mean, they had no other way to go. They got to fight each other, or, it's only thing they can do, because what are they going to just keep fighting bums and keep fighting nobodies for no belts? So it's either they fight each other or they go through me.
Be bold now, the rematch. It will be very interesting. I think Canelo need this rematch.
Well, what do you think Tank and Ryan? What do you think about Tank and Ryan? How does that play out?
50-50.
50-50. Thank you, Lama.
No problem.
Thank you, Iggy.